They broke up with you only days ago, and now they're kissing someone else. You wonder, was I never enough to bring them back? You lie awake replaying every message, questioning where you went wrong. While you delve into analysis, they've already moved on as if your relationship was merely a rehearsal. An avoidant rebound isn't proof of your emptiness. It's a sign they're running away from their own emotions. In a world where digital connections are ubiquitous, we're swept up in the whirlwind of instant love. Dating apps promise endless options, but also plant the seed of doubt. Am I really their number one? Especially for those with avoidant tendencies, the moment intimacy deepens, they pull back and dive into someone new like a temporary emotional painkiller. But don't despair. Understanding the avoidance rebound response not only frees you from self-blame, but also arms you with the superpower of no contact, the secret to forcing them to face their inner loneliness. This video will guide you through a transformative journey. Why they sprint into new arms without looking back. The 3 stages of a rebound: initial euphoria, lurking cracks, and the painful crash. How to leverage no contact to reclaim your peace and trigger their delayed grief. Long-term healing strategies, from reconnecting with yourself to rebuilding trust for the future. If you're bewildered by their lightning-fast emotional migration and yearn for answers to mend your heart, stay tuned. This journey isn't just about them, it's about you, about rising stronger and embracing love in its truest form. From the very first moments after a breakup, avoidantly attached individuals enter a state of profound internal panic that is hard to fathom. They are not merely anxious about losing you, but terrified of the void, of facing the very emotions they have buried deep within. To them, deepening intimacy feels like a perilous trap, a place where emotions do not just surface, but demand nurturing, sharing, and vulnerability. Confronting this feels like being locked inside a cage of responsibility and pain, one that both imprisons them and threatens to reopen old wounds. Attachment theory by Bowlby and Ainsworth tells us that avoidants, who grow up in environments where emotional needs are not met or are even scorned, learn to abandon relationships the moment they begin to deepen. They don't leave because you aren't worthy. They leave because deep down, they believe that once emotions bloom, they cannot step back without inflicting hurt on both sides. The fear of hurting someone they care about is one of their greatest anxieties. Thus, when a relationship just begins to show real depth, an extra lingering handhold, an overnight conversation, a meaningful gaze, a warning siren blares in their mind, danger too close, wouldn't they? In these moments, running away doesn't mean completely giving up, but rather jumping into a new relationship to deaden the turmoil rising within. A rebound relationship acts as an instant painkiller. It offers relief because it asks for no deep commitment, no emotional nurturing, no risk of encountering their own vulnerabilities. When they rush into a new partner's arms, they are not running toward love but away from loneliness, from the tension between guilt for hurting you and the relief of escaping an emotional entanglement. Even more so, avoidants are trapped in a parallel conflict between 2 opposing forces. One pulls them back toward you, questioning your bond and doubting, am I truly enough? While the other urges them to flee, because every moment of emotional closeness highlights their own inner fear, compelling them to escape. The guilt of causing you pain and the relief of avoiding commitment intertwine in a chaotic haze that cannot be soothed by mere indifference or reassurance, only by finding a new temporary emotional fix. The result is that each rebound date, however sweet it may seem on the surface, remains nothing but a performance. There is no genuine yearning for deep connection because the moment any real emotional bond forms, the avoidant immediately signals danger, labels it a threat, and jumps to the next option. Each time this happens, they inadvertently reinforce the belief that relationships are numbing agents rather than healing solutions. Remarkably, during the early phase of a rebound, avoidants rarely delve into past issues or engage in heartfelt discussions. They distract both themselves and their new partner with superficial activities, coffee outings, movies, short getaways, all structured to avoid any sign of confronting real feeling. And so the cycle follows a near universal pattern: initial escape from tension, emergence of cracks when the surface level connection proves insufficient, and ultimately the crash when their body and mind can no longer suppress deeper emotions. Understanding the core nature of an avoidance rebound reveals that it is not about attraction or betrayal, but about how they manage a fear deeply embedded in their subconscious. The fear of being trapped, wounded, and exposed. And this very awareness becomes the first step toward your liberation. Instead of blaming yourself, you recognize that they are not returning because you lack value, but because they are running away from themselves. With this insight, you gain the right to refuse to be a mere temporary painkiller and begin to chart a true path of healing for yourself. Once you've grasped how an avoidance inner panic fuels their rebound painkiller, it's time for the aha moment when everything becomes painfully clear yet utterly liberating. Aha. It's not that you weren't attractive enough, it's that they're afraid of themselves. That hard truth stings, but it's precisely what's happening. They rush into a new relationship not because someone else is more appealing, but because deep inside them, a silent war rages between guilt and relief. When you realize an avoidant uses a rebound to escape themselves, to avoid emotions they can't process, you free yourself from the trap of self-blame or insecurity. Instead of lying awake asking, "What did I do wrong?" you can confidently ask, "What do I need to heal?" This aha shatters illusions. You're not a temporary patch, nor are you plan B. You're merely a witness to their coping strategy for old wounds. And in that insight, you gain the power of choice. You can decide to stop explaining yourself, stop waiting, and start the journey of loving yourself again. The aha moment isn't just motivational, it's a fierce pivot from blaming them to caring for yourself. You understand they don't come back because they aren't ready to face their pain, and you don't have to wait for their readiness. You awaken to the fact that your worth does not hinge on an avoidance reactions. Armed with this new awareness, you unlock intentional actions. Set boundaries. Firmly state you refuse to play the role of someone's emotional bandage. Focus on your needs. Tune into your body, mind, and heart as they ache, and find ways to heal. Reconnect with your passions. Invest time in hobbies, friends, and activities that reignite joy. Shifting from "what am I lacking" to "what do I need" is your greatest turning point. You're no longer a pawn on their emotional chessboard. You're the one actively choosing your path, not waiting for someone to throw you a lifeline. And when you master yourself, the rebound painkiller loses all its power. You discover that internal freedom is the ultimate superpower, liberating you from an avoidance emotional game and guiding you toward a horizon where true healing and authentic love await. Having reached the aha moment, you're now prepared to journey into the fourth section, a step-by-step breakdown of the avoidant rebound timeline, illustrating exactly how their new relationship unravels. Understanding this timeline frees you from shock or heartbreak when they inevitably crash, allowing you to spot warning signs and maintain your center. Phase 1. Stress relief. Day 1. Week 2. During the first day and week post-breakup, avoidants experience an enormous release of tension. They feel a euphoric relief, no longer having to face deep emotions, no longer at risk of being trapped in intimacy. They feel freed from the pressure to open up. The new rebound relationship acts as an instant emotional painkiller, asking for nothing more than surface-level interaction, casual coffee dates, light-hearted chats, or subtle flirtations that don't demand investment or vulnerability. Symptoms of this phase include a surge in enthusiasm. They post happily about their new partner. They engage actively on social media, showering the new interest with likes and messages. All moves swiftly and smoothly. The essence of this phase is absence of stress, not genuine love. When you see them happily scrolling past your stories as if you never existed, you realize they're simply basking in a non-committal high, not forging a heartfelt bond. Phase 2. Emerging cracks. Weeks 3-6. From week 3 through week 6, subtle shifts begin to surface. The superficial glow no longer hides the emptiness underneath. They find their laughter less genuine, conversations less fulfilling. You may notice sudden silences or distracted responses during dates. This happens because the superficial intimacy fails to satisfy their deep-seated need for security. Their attachment instincts, long suppressed, stir awake. They demand more trust and understanding, the very things they once fled from. Consequently, avoidants start to compare you with the ex they left behind. They recall your shared glances, your unguarded jokes, and the ease of emotional comprehension. That comparison breeds a sense of disappointment and loss, leaving them uneasy without knowing why they no longer feel the same spark. Phase 3, the deep crash, month 2. 6+. As the rebound relationship extends into the 2nd through 6th months or even longer, the body and mind can't hold back emotions any longer. Typical symptoms include unexplained irritability. They snap over trivial matters or dodge emotional conversations altogether. They overwork themselves, cancel plans last minute, and adopt a cold, silent demeanor. Their mood swings between apathy and restlessness, akin to a subtle depression that has no clear origin. The core of this phase is the pervasive loneliness and emptiness that seep through. They realize the new relationship was merely a thin veneer, unable to mask the chill of genuine emotional disconnect. The outcome unfolds quietly yet decisively. Rather than a dramatic breakup, you witness them gradually disappear. Messages go unanswered. Likes and comments quietly cease. Their presence on social feeds dwindles until eventually you're left with silence. This is the final crash. The anchor of the rebound snaps. Its fragments fall away and they never look back. This pattern does not simply end with one rebound, but reiterates a cycle. Avoid, seek a rebound to escape emotion. Savor the stress-free high face. The cracks when surface-level engagement fail ultimately crash as body and mind refuse to suppress feelings any longer. Recognizing these 3 phases means you no longer struggle through sudden mood shifts or emotional distance. You can remain calm as you spot each transition from their initial escape to their final crash, and understand that this unraveling is not about you, but about how they handle deep pain. That awareness becomes your anchor, empowering you to continue your healing journey without being swept away by their unpredictable course. Having decoded the rebound's unraveling phases, stress relief, emerging cracks, and the deep crash, you're now ready for the next step, deploying your recovery superpower, no contact to end the emotional charade and begin genuine healing. No contact isn't an act of revenge or malice. It's a challenge forcing them to confront the emotional void they've been fleeing. While you reclaim your inner power by ceasing all contact, no texts, no calls, no story views, no likes, you create a silent space where the performance cannot continue. The primary benefit of no contact is triggering delayed grief. When a rebound unravels, avoidants often vanish rather than face the pain. But with no contact, they lose the quick fixes of casual messages or social media interactions. They're compelled to experience loneliness, the emptiness they once sidestepped. Old pain surfaces, guilt from hurting you resurfaces, and the loss of the rebound relationship compounds the void, forcing them to feel rather than avoid. Implementation steps. Delete shared photos. Remove joint pictures to avoid constant triggers of shared memories. Block messages. Block their number and mute messaging apps. No incoming texts or calls can disturb you. Stop viewing social content. Do not visit their profile or interact online. Exist as if you vanished from their world. Ignore every signal. Should they like old posts, comment, or send mutual friends, remain silent, no reciprocal likes, no replies. Expected outcomes. You regain peace. Freed from the torment of waiting on notifications, you can focus on your true needs. Your mind settles, no longer dragged into, are they online? When will they reply? They confront loneliness. Without rebound texts or likes, avoidants feel the void they once masked with someone new. Loneliness acts as the catalyst for delayed grief. Enhanced self-awareness. Devoid of distractions, they must ask themselves, why do I still suffer? This realization dawns that running only deepens pain, not heals it. You may doubt, asking, is this too harsh? Remember, no contact isn't punishment. It's a mutual release. You heal, and they finally face their emotions head on instead of fleeing. The power of no contact lies in requiring no explanations. When the avoidant feels the sting of silence, they'll seek answers within. You hold the silence. You hold your worth. And with that, you open the door to your next phase, long-term recovery free from emotional chains. Once your no-contact phase has run its course and you feel the first stirrings of peace within, it's time to turn the page to a new chapter, rebuilding your inner strength and preparing for the future. Don't be under the illusion that silence alone suffices. Genuine recovery demands you reconstruct every facet of your life, from how you honor yourself to how you open your heart to the world. Reconnecting with yourself is the indispensable first step. After enduring a long stretch of heartache, you may feel unmoored and purposeless. Allocate time for your mental well-being through proven techniques. Daily meditation to listen to your inner voice. Journaling to track emotional highs and lows. Ensuring you get restful sleep to allow your brain to recover. Simultaneously, don't neglect your passions, whether that's painting, sports, or learning a new language. By indulging in what lights you up, you not only restore your energy, but reaffirm that you deserve a rich, meaningful life. Next, nurture healthy relationships outside of romance. No longer confined to the pain loop of an avoidant ex, you can re-engage with those who stand by you, family, close friends, and community activities. A casual coffee with an old friend, a morning yoga class, or a soft skills workshop all offer opportunities for authentic connection and unconditional support. These bonds rekindle your trust and care that doesn't demand emotional escrow. Simultaneously, build a support network so you're never alone. While family and friends provide sturdy emotional backbones, sometimes professional guidance is necessary to untangle complex attachment patterns. A few sessions with a therapist can illuminate old relationship dynamics, teach you to set healthy boundaries, and boost your self-esteem. Feeling heard and understood fosters the safety you need to proceed. Finally, prepare yourself mentally for future love, a fresh start brimming with hope. When you stand on solid ground, do not hesitate to open up to new potential partners who share your core values rather than those seeking a quick temporary fix. Clarify your non-negotiables. Someone who respects boundaries, shares your passions, and is committed to building a lasting partnership. This approach not only shields you from the rebound trap, but also aligns you with a love that thrives on mutual authenticity rather than ad hoc solace. Throughout this long-term journey, you might stumble and face discouragement, but every step marks a milestone of growth. By rebuilding your inner strength, you're not just healing an old wound, you're laying the foundation for a future happiness that endures. And only through patience with yourself can you truly believe that genuine love awaits. Love that is not a mere painkiller, but a guiding flame for two people walking side by side, strong and unwavering. You've navigated the avoidance defense, unraveled the three-phase rebound collapse, stress relief, emerging cracks, and the final crash, and tapped into no contact, your emotional superpower. Now fortified and equipped, you're poised for the last leg of this journey, complete healing and embracing a hopeful future. 1. Reflection and acceptance. First, take a moment to reflect on your path. From the initial heartbreak through the aha revelation, from surface rebounds to the silent confrontation of delayed grief, each step, short or long, represents progress. Accept that you endured pain, that tears and effort led you here. Acceptance isn't passive resignation, it's honoring the value of your personal journey. 2. Reconnect with inner resources. Next, reconnect with your deepest strengths, the perseverance that kept you going, the self-care instincts behind no contact, and the yearning for emotional freedom that sparked your recovery. Write down your top 3 priorities, be it mental well-being, creative passions, or learning new skills, and commit to them daily. By fueling your inner reserves, you not only heal old wounds, but also generate momentum for future growth. 3. Nurture healthy connections. Don't let the past anchor you. Actively nurture the healthy relationships around you, family, friends, colleagues, and community circles. Every sincere conversation, shared laugh, and comforting hug weaves a sturdy support network. These bonds not only reaffirm you are loved, but also offer fresh perspectives that foster personal growth. 4. Cultivate intentional patience. Recovery isn't a straight line. You may falter or doubt yourself at times. Practice intentional patience. Acknowledge moments of sorrow or insecurity without letting them dictate your actions. When doubt arises, breathe deeply or journal to process emotions. This practice keeps you steady on life's shifting seas. 5. Prepare for a new beginning. When you feel solid within, open your heart to new possibilities, but this time choose mindfully based on core values, honesty, mutual respect, shared passions, and growth together. Visualize your ideal partner, someone who supports your dreams as you champion theirs, building a vibrant life together. Don't rush into a new relationship until you're truly ready. Wait until you know you're your best self and deserving of authentic love. Final emotional rebirth. Finally, as you reinforce your inner strength, foster healthy bonds, and practice patient resilience, you'll experience an emotional rebirth. Love ceases to be a burden and becomes an endless source of inspiration. You'll learn to love without losing yourself, share without depending, and open your heart without fear. Like a flower blooming after a long winter, your spirit will radiate proud and ready to greet each new dawn. Thank you for joining this in-depth exploration of avoidant psychology and emotional recovery. We hope this video has inspired you to love and care for yourself more deeply. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss our upcoming content on psychology, attachment, and personal growth. Hit like if you found this helpful and leave a comment with your own experiences. See you in the next videos where we continue walking the path toward emotional freedom and lasting happiness.